Hello everybody, Navy Vet 76 at the house. I was out at the range and the first part of my video did not record on my Remington 7mm Mauser rolling block. Now, if you've seen my previous videos on this rifle, you know it's been a process. The first barrel, the original barrel on this was not shooting very well, no groups, nothing. It was pretty well shot out. And I was talking about rebarreling it back to its original caliber, keeping it in 7mm Mauser. And one of the guys in the group said he had a barrel just laying around with the handguard and all the wood, actually had all the wood. He said I could just have it. So he lived out west somewhere, I can't remember, and he mailed it to me for free. I've been told that this is a model 1896 barrel. It has the pinned front sight. It's a little crusty on the outside, but the rifling's pretty decent in it. So I had my gunsmith swap out the barrels. It still has the same sight that was on the other one. You just put it on this one. Now, the other issue I had with this gun was, if you'll see in my previous videos, this piece of the breech block broke off. So we had it welded, and it's welded right across there, and it cracked. The weld cracked. So I took it into the machine shop. I work in a machine shop, and I drilled a hole and dropped a dowel pin in there and left it sticking out. Took it back to the gunsmith, and he silver soldered that in place. So I had this gun out there at the range a week ago. I was shooting 150 grain Hornady ELDs, and it didn't group very well. So took it out today, and you'll see in the video that it shot a lot better with 180 grain ELD. I also did some 130 grain cast bullets to see how they would work, and you'll see how that went in the video. You'll notice this one has a screw up here, and the extractor on this one slides in and out in like a slot on the side of the barrel in here. The other type is a roller kind of extractor, and this is a little different. So I'm not sure what year the receiver is. I'm thinking it's a model 1897 receiver, and it's working a lot better. I'll let y'all judge for yourself in the video to follow. I don't know what happened. The video shut down. Anyway, I was saying I have this one has an extractor that slides in and out on a groove. It has the extra screw on the side. So this is a 7mm Mauser barrel. The rifling on it was a lot better than the original barrel that was on it. And as you guys will remember, I broke this tang off, and I had it welded. Well, I kind of figured that the weld might crack, and it did, but it didn't completely crack off. And before that happened, I took it into the shop, and I drilled a hole in there and put a dowel pin in there, and then the gunsmith silver soldered it in place, so this shouldn't crack out again. It's got some issues, but it's still my rolling block, and I still enjoy it for what it is. So I was out last week with this, and I was using a ELD Hornady bullet. I think it was a 150 grain bullet, and it wasn't grouping very well. So today I'm trying two different bullets. I did some cast bullets. They are 130 grain cast. I'm using Alox coating on the bullet, and I'm using unique powder at 17 grains. And my overall length on this bullet is 2 inches 890 thousandths. Now this rolling block is a 284 thousandths groove diameter. Most of the Remington 7mm are 284 groove diameter. I know my carbine is as well. And then the next thing I wanted to try was a heavier ELD match bullet. And on the side of the box it said ELD match 28503. It's a 180 grain bullet. And during the pandemic, powder was hard to find. And so when I went to my local gun shop that sells powder, they had H4831 shortcut, or SC. So I did some looking around in the Lyman 49 manual, and they had a load for a 175 grain bullet, but nothing for 180. So I took their lightest load and I dropped it 10%, and that made it 36 grains of Hornady H4831 shortcut, or SC. And then I just extended it out as far as I thought I safely could and put a crimp on the bullet. So this is where we came out. I think the throat on this is either eroded very badly.
1 minute to ceasefire. 1 minute.
Or they were made that way with a taper going into down into the bore. So that's what I ended up with, and that's sticking out as far as I feel it's safe to go. And then I put a crimp on the bullet. My thinking is it's got a little more engagement with the rifling, and maybe the heavier bullet will work. I don't know. I've never used this powder. I've had it for a while, and I found a load for it, and it's also the pressure at, I think it was 41 grains for 7mm Mauser was at about 3,200 psi, or 32,000 psi, I believe. So that's of all the powders that were listed, that was the one with the lowest pressure. Then I had the powder.
Ceasefire.
So I
Ceasefire
thought
on
I'd
the
use
firing
it.
line. Make the firing line safe. I see the firing line clear. Shooters go down range, check the case target, then come back behind the line.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going to set up the chronograph and put the target down there at 50 yards and get some idea of whether or not that load is good. If it's running fast, I know it's too hot for this rifle. And we'll see how it groups, and then we'll see how the cast does. Okay. I got the chronograph set up. Old cell phone. We're going to do the 180 grain ELDX Hornady bullet with 36 grains of Hornady 4831, which means shortcut. It's a rod powder. Hopefully this isn't a hot load and it blows up in my face. Well, let's see what it does. I'm comfortable here. We're going to shoot the middle target down there. It's merely a reference point. We're at 50 yards. And let's see what it does. That's a 1945 feet per second, which I think means the pressure is safe. Nice. It's a good group. That one was 2,074 feet per second. The trigger pull on this sucks. It didn't used to be this heavy. It's 2,096 feet per second. Trigger pull is horrible on this. I figured out a way to lighten that trigger pull. That one was 2,086 feet per second. $2,078. Actually, the spread's not too bad. This is saying 151 for the spread. A deviation of 62.51. So, I'll say that 5 shots. You know, I think I'll do 10. I'll do 5. I want to look down range in my new scope since I broke the other one and see if I even got a group. Oh yeah, I got one flyer down there, and it's shooting low and to the left, but it's grouping way better than I did the other day with that lighter bullet. If I can find some 175 grain EO, I might use those. These are boat tail bullets, and I don't know if it's the weight, if it's a combination of a longer bullet with more engagement in the rifling, but I could bump the powder up too, because I'm maybe another grain or two, get up around 2,100 feet per second. I got to buy some more of these EL. 180 grain, I'm out of them, and I don't have any 175 grain. But I'm going to run, probably just shoot all of them. I could bump the elevation up a notch. Man, that's something else, isn't it? Got a really good spring on it. All right, I bumped it up a notch. If I'm shooting low at 50 yards, I need to bump the charge up a little bit. I'm grouping a little better, so that shows a lot of promise. Now, I don't think that I can drift this. I wish I could. That would be nice, but you can't really drift these. I can't even drift the front side on these, so I'm sure there's a trick to these. I don't know at the moment what that is for windage, other than Kentucky windage. So I'll aim right, and I've already adjusted elevation. Let's see if I can get some more shots in before the break. This thing is not okay.
1 minute to cease fire. 1 minute.
2,021 feet per second. Trigger pull is horrible. I gotta get these in before he hits that red light, because it messes up my chronograph. Well, there's 4 more.
Cease fire. Cease fire. Cease fire on the firing line. Make the firing line safe. Place the fire on one fence. Backing out. Access open. Chamber flags in place. Shooters stand on yellow. And the firing line is clear. Shooters go down range.
Okay, this was my first shot with a flyer, first 5. I brought the elevation up 1 notch, and my aim point was here, and it shot that much higher with a flyer there out of the 4 that I shot. But you can see I got really decent groups at 50 yards. I think the powder charge needs to go up a little bit. I don't know what to do about windage, unless it's Kentucky windage. Some of these older rifles you could drift the front sight on. This one you cannot. It's fixed, and as far as I can tell, so is the rear sight. Okay, I'll play with it some more, but that's the new old barrel. And the update on the Remington rolling block for the ELD 180 grain ELDX bullet using H4831 shortcut. Well, let's try the cast bullet, and I'll move over to this target, which is coming loose. Maybe I'll just move to this target on the right here, and we'll do that with the we're going to try some of these cast bullets, see if they group. I don't know what kind of speed to expect. I know it's going to be slow. Got to turn the chrono on. I really like this Caldwell setup connected to my phone. I know they've had it for a while. I never did it. And once you get used to the technology, this old fart, he takes a while to figure things out, but I get around to it. All right, I don't know where these are going to shoot. Again, this trigger pull is horrible. I don't know. I'll have to research on, because I want to lighten this trigger pull. It didn't used to be this way before the rebarrel. I don't know what happened. All right, I'm going right for the center of the target. Man, I can't get set up. All right, now we're ready. That's go faster than I thought it would be. That was 1962. Now, something I didn't mention, the chambers on these 7mm rolling blocks are generous. And what I do is I'll either just neck size, and the other thing I did was I backed the seating die out so that I bring the shoulder a little farther forward, and then I would back it out and then bring it down and try the case in the chamber until the breech block just closed on the round. If you use regular 7mm Mauser cases, they do not fit well in the chamber, and sometimes because of light strikes. So I custom fit these cases for this rifle, and the funny thing is they work in the carbine as well. So I also took 30-06 cases, and I made them fit a little better in this chamber, and it works well. All right, let's try it again. It's 1968 feet per second. $1,985 feet per second. $2,012 feet per second. Okay, that one's a little snug. Got a little bit of a ring down there. I'm not going to shoot that one. $2,002 feet per second. Boy, that one stuck in there. All right. So I'm going to pause the camera and get the head of the stuff. That was swelled up in the chamber. You can tell down here at the base. This case is swelled up a little bit because when you back that full length sizing die off a little, it doesn't size all the way down, so some of these are tight in there. What I want to do now is I want to look down range and see if these even grouped. So I'm going to do that. Well, it's shooting high, and I'm only seeing 4 of my 5 shots. And I'm not really seeing a group. So I'm looking at that again. I see 1 down low and 3 up high, and I do not know where the other one is. I don't know. Let's try, I think we better pause and wait till after the break, and there'll be some more. Ow! Ow, I walked into the bench. I don't know where that, I went down there to look closer, and I did 5 shots. I can't find one of the 5. I thought, well, maybe I have a squib or a bullet stuck in the barrel. It's clear. So I don't know what happened to it. So we're going to do a new group. Start that. Alright. Part of my issue is this trigger pull. I'm not a gunsmith. I'm a tool maker, and I can do a lot of things, but there's some things that are going to require a little research, or I'm going to have to pay a gunsmith. That's 2,022 feet per second. That's pretty fast for a cast bullet. All these shots are really way too fast for a cast bullet. Now, if these were powder coated, it probably would be okay. So, I should be running right around, I don't know, maybe 1,300 feet per second. So this load's too hot for cast. I mean, it's safe to shoot, but it's probably going to lead the bore a little bit. Yeah, that's way too fast. That one's 2,040. The bore doesn't look bad, but I can guarantee you there's some lead down in there. I'll do 2 more, and then how many have I got? That was just 2, wasn't it? Now I'll do another 5 shots, and then I'm going to not shoot these anymore. I'm going to pull these and reduce the charge. That one was 1,991 feet per second. That's 2,034 feet per second. And one more. That was 1,993 feet per second. All right, I'm going to save that group. So there's 10 shots down there. We know this load is too hot. This 5-shot group in the save groups, the average speed for this one was 2,016 feet per second, and the first group average speed was 1,985 feet per second. So, they're really about 500 feet per second too fast. do I get back? So I need to write down too fast. And we'll use highest average group, which is 2016.40 FPS. All right, so I don't know, maybe I need to drop it down to 14, 13 grains, somewhere in there. What do y'all think? We all know that it's too fast for just a regular cast bullet, and maybe it would work with powder coated, but I just want to see how this barrel would do with cast and with the heavier bullet in jacketed. So we will be able to ascertain some things today just doing that. But I do think this new barrel on here, new old barrel on here, works way better than the sewer pipe I had on it before. One thing about these old 7mm Mauser rolling blocks is the bores on them are generally shot out. Most of them are sewer pipes, and I am not interested in rebarreling to a different caliber. I like to keep most of my military surplus rifles in their original configuration. With these guns, if you want to do that, you're gonna either have to find a barrel that's got decent rifling in it, or just have a wall hanger. Well, that's all I got for this video on this rolling block. If you go into my videos on this, you'll see the progression and all the issues I've had with this gun, and I think we're coming along. And, if I have any updates later, I'll do another video on it. Thanks for watching. Okay, here's the results of the cast load. And you'll see they're up there. I don't think they're grouping very well. You know, a bunch of different flyers in different places. They're shooting way too fast for one thing. All right, there you have it. 7mm Mauser Remington rolling block.